Jay, 6 years ago, we wrote The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and the research that went behind that led us to 4 basic models that we believed were the foundation of building a successful real estate career to the highest level.
That's right. A lead generation model, an economic model, a budget model, and an organizational model.
Let's talk about the economic model for a second.
Great.
In the economic model, we draw a distinction between activity and productivity, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
you can be making a lot of noise and moving around, but not very productive.
Exactly. We also said that, so we want you to be productive. We want you to do productive things. We want you to do productive lead generation. Mm-hmm. Okay. The point of the economic model was it's all about numbers, and you need to know your numbers. You need to understand that if you do certain activities, they're going to lead to certain results. Mm-hmm. And we actually walked through kind of a mindset that said contacts lead to agreements, agreements can lead to contracts, contracts can lead to closings.
That's right. So you have a contact that leads actually to an appointment.
Yeah.
At the appointment, you get an agreement to do business together.
Right.
Then you work together and you put an offer, or you get an offer on the home, a contract, and then you go for closings. That's the chain of events between your lead generation and your income.
Now, we put out certain numbers there, and we said, assuming an average price, a certain commission rate or charge that you would put out there, and certain things that these numbers would apply. Thus, you have to make X number of contacts a day in order to ultimately end up with X number of contracts that close, correct?
That's right.
Now, again, though, this research was all done during
2002, a extreme seller's market at the time.
That's right. Exactly right.
And so in our research, depending on if you're working with a buyer or a seller, your appointment to agreement to do business was around 60 to 80%.
Yes, that's right.
And when you had that agreement, depending on a buyer or seller, it was about 60 to 80% of those would close.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is that the NAR research was real clear that apparently during that time period, it was about a 24-to-1 ratio.
From contacts to closings.
Yes, that's right. Now, Gene Rivers in our organization actually did a little study with a class of individuals over an 8-week period in Florida.
That's right, in the fall of 2008.
Right, and that market would still be the market we're in today.
That's right.
And that's a tough market in Florida.
It's one of the hardest markets we've got.
I see you have his sheet. Show us what his results were.
All right. So this group of students over 8 weeks, they made 846 contacts. Uh-huh. From those contacts, they got 276 seller leads, 229 buyer leads.
Okay.
All right, so around 500 there, total leads. Okay. Now, from those, they got 66 listings taken.
So let me back up. So they had 846 contacts, and that generated about 500 plus buyer and seller leads.
That's right.
Okay, that's a pretty good ratio.
So they worked those leads, and they got 66 listings taken and 60 agreements to do business with buyers.
Okay.
All right, so that's 126 agreements to do business with buyers and sellers.
Out of about 500 or so leads. Mm-hmm. So we're now in that 20 to 25% range, not 60 to 80.
Less than half of the effectiveness of when we did the original research.
I think that's really important to note that when a market shifts as tough, and these are extreme times. Make no mistake about this, right?
You may have to work 3 or 4 times as hard to make the same amount of money.
To generate from a contact to a lead to an agreement.
That's right.
To a buyer agreement or a seller listing.
Okay. So once you have those agreements, they actually got, in that 8-week period, 44 contracts.
Okay.
And 25 of those actually closed during that 8 weeks. We don't know if more of them closed.
So what they discovered, where NAR said it was a 24-to-1 ratio, that 8-week study, that's about a
34-to-1.
Yeah, about a 34 instead of 24-to-1, 34-to-1. So about 40% more effort.
That's right.
To get the same result.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once again, the point here is, does the economic model put forth in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, is it still true?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The numbers, the key point is to understand is that if the markets shift or if you're different, you're doing different things, you're having different successes, it's going to all look different. So the truth is you have to go out and interact in your market. Immediately you have to plug in your numbers.
That's right.
And then the goal is to improve upon those numbers if you don't like the outcome.
That's right. If you have a goal, and you know that your ratio is 20-to-1 in that market,
exactly,
you'll know what you have to do to hit your goal. It could be 60-to-1 in that market, but you'll know what you need to do.
Yeah, I haven't found anybody who has the same numbers.
No. Everybody's got their own sleep number and their own lead generation number, right? So there you go. So the economic model, if you want to wrap it up, is know what activities line up with your closings, and understand your success ratio so that you can do what you need to do to get the success that you want.
Yep, there you go.
Whether it's a millionaire or not, right? It's what you want.